Oh, yeah, we've got Estelle and we've got Ruth. I think you'll recognize Ruth from last time, Patty.
I hope she couldn't get the audio last time, right?
That's right. That's right. Hello, Estelle.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Melanie?
Likewise.
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Ruth. You're back. Awesome. Thank you. Before. Okay, so I'm going to kick off, I think, just to give anybody else a chance who wants to join us, a little bit of extra time to join us, and we can do a round of introductions. So if you'll just introduce who you are, where in the world you are, and some of your experience with denim. And we can start with you, Patty.
Hi, I'm Patty Schneider. I live in the United States. I'm in New York State. I live about 25 miles north of New York City. What I'm interested in learning more about in working with denim is learning how people can piece denim together. In other words, how you say piece it as you would do for patchwork or for quilting. Just knowing that it's a heavy material, and so I would think is not as easy to work with. I've been very impressed by the patchwork I've seen people make in the Facebook group. And so I'm just want to learn some tips on working with denim in that way.
Okay, I've also been very curious about that myself because it looks like a tough job on the hands. Okay, Estelle, would you like to introduce yourself for the community?
Sure. I'm in Silicon Valley, California. I'm an advanced sewer, and I'm just here to get more ideas. I've got to tell you, my latest thing with sewing was going through my scrap basket and finding remnants for things that I've made and making matching masks.
Okay.
And I'm just awing people all over the place that my masks match the shirts I've made. So that's my latest thing with sewing, but I'm here for ideas.
Okay.
I could probably help you lead the sewing part.
Okay, and do you have answers for Patty around how to piece together denim successfully?
Yeah, I pieced denim just by zigzagging. Zigzagging really works.
Okay.
So
use your machine.
You don't make an actual seam. You just put the edges flush with each other and zigzag stitch.
You can do either. If you're laying one on top of the other, you need to use that little bumper behind your. It's early in the morning for me here, so I can't think of words. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
You need that little bumper behind your foot that raises it so that your foot has more room to work on multiple layers of denim.
Okay.
That's very useful. Thank you, Estelle. Ruth, are you managing to get your sound working today?
Yes, I did.
Yes! We're so excited.
I just had to push a couple more buttons.
Okay, so Ruth, will you introduce yourself for the community who haven't seen our previous Zooms? Just tell us where you are and maybe a little bit of your experience about working with denim.
Okay, I'm in Alaska, where it's light almost 24 hours now, and you guys are probably suffering the other end of that. But I'm a quilter, crafter, maker, recycler, frugal person, never throw anything away. And the little phone pouch that I posted on the collective I have with me, and I can show you and put it in front of me somehow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is made with a denim, was a pair of jeans, and it was this color when I bought it at the thrift store, and it was like a size, I don't know, 0 or something crazy, and I knew I'd never wear them anyhow, but then sometimes I buy things just because I want the fabric. And I made a jacket with the bulk of it. And then lately I've been using these little pouches for my phone, and it put a belt contraption on it, hardware, and you can put it through the belt loops of your jeans, and it's always there, usually, if you remember it. And so this is mine. I call it the flame fabric, and somebody asked me on the thing, how do you do the flame technique? And I just laughed. I said, I bought it like that. But I didn't show the back. And so this fabric I used for the little pocket where I put my this actually has my glasses cleaner thing. $10 bills or whatever kind of money you guys use. If you're like, when I'm going to the hairdresser, when I used to go to the hairdresser, I would just stick my money in there, and I had my phone to do my next appointment, and that's all I needed. I didn't have to carry my big old purse that has, it's like an overnight bag. And then the second thing I could think of from denim is this pair of jeans that my friend gave me a long time ago. And let me put this farther back so I can show it. I never could wear it until I've been through the Zoom program. So now I can wear them, but they need to be boro stitched. There's some holes where it's been worn, and they're like capri length. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, they're cute, and I'm planning on doing the boro stitch to make them wearable because I don't like holes.
So Ruth, I have to ask you, what do you do with all those extra hours in the day? Do you stay up and craft, or do you actually sleep?
Oh, I sleep.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can actually answer the question about how that denim, how the flaming was done.
Oh.
So that fabric was initially bleached.
Yeah.
And then that you would have to launder the bleach out very, very well before you then apply the dye. And then they likely applied some red fiber reactive dye over that to give it that flame look. So it was first bleached and then dyed again.
I've done discharge before, and
yes,
it's been a long time. But
yes.
yeah.
And kind of that fading out that you see suggests to me that maybe when they actually did it, they may not have washed the bleach out that well.
Okay.
That's why the red kind of fades to the peach around the edges. Is because the bleach was still a little bit active there. So it took very strongly on the top surfaces, and then around the edges, it kind of fades out.
And it looked like it was tie-dyed.
Yes. Yes.
Because of the streaks and the lines.
Yeah. Yeah, they would have manipulated the fabric first, tied it up, and then put the bleach on, and then put the dye on.
Yeah.
So,
but actually, I like the different colors that come through. So it works for me.
okay.
I like the way it turned out.
Yes, Estelle, you have a question for us.
I do. I'd like to ask Ruth what she means by the burrow stitch.
Oh, borrow, B-O-R-O. It's the Japanese mending that's so popular now.
Oh, right.
You can look it up on Pinterest and find lots and lots and lots of things. So all those jeans that kids are wearing with the holes in them on purpose, or not just kids, but they can be mended.
Yeah, right.
And there is a Facebook group called Borrow. If you just put Borrow into the search bar on Facebook, the group will come up. And what I'll do is when I post this video, I'll put a link to that group in the comments below, then you can all find it more easily. Yeah. Okay, then I've also brought along one of my projects, and this was a pair of denims that I think I was given as a present. And it was ripped, they were ripped straight across the bottom, like the whole way across. so that normally in the old days I would have thrown them away. But then I found some round pieces of fabric. When I made my first book a decade ago, I did a piece of fabric that I tie-dyed, and we then made for to use kind of for event decor. And I cut round shapes out of the centers of the fabric. And because it's a t-shirting, it doesn't fray. So those round shapes were still intact and lying around in my box. So I've actually stitched them on to the back of the denims. Can you see?
Yes.
And then, yeah, and then what I did was I carried it on all the way down the legs, so that, because I realized if it was just across where they'd been ripped, it would be very obvious that I'd fixed a torn bottom on the jeans. So I've put it so that it looks less contrived. I've kind of put these round shapes floating all the way down the legs of the denims, and that worked quite well. And they've actually, can you see there? Mm-hmm. They've actually held up very, very well to washing, which surprised me. But then, because the trousers were quite old, eventually the waistband went, and they weren't comfortable to wear. So then I went back and I've reinforced the waistband with some of this really soft, pretty floral fabric. And that has worked quite well. And I wear them a lot. And people always say to me, oh, where did you get those amazing jeans? And if they only knew how ripped and broken they were when I got them, they'd be amazed. And I've been wearing these like these for another 3 years. So, you know, my fear was when I did a gazillion stitches on them that I was going to be sorry and that I wouldn't wear them again. So when the waist went, I was gutted. I was like, oh no, I've now put all this work in and I can't wear them. And then I just went over and I reinforced the waist with a little bit of fabric and that borrow stitching that we're speaking about. And they're very, very super comfortable to wear. And in fact, I kind of like the layer of borrow stitched fabric that's gone over the waistband and all of that stuff, because I've managed to cover a lot of the construction of the garment on the inside. And I'm personally quite sensitive to inside seams on stuff. I'm quite known for wearing my clothing inside out because the seams irritate me. So when I can cover a seam like that with a gentle layer of cloth, I actually find the garments way more comfortable to wear. So these pants actually now are one of my most comfortable pairs of trousers because they've got this really, it's firm but malleable waistband that doesn't have any like sticky outfits that itch and scratch me. So that is my one borrow project. I've got quite a few other denim projects, but sadly they are not with me at the moment because I moved in November and all of my stuff is still in storage, a very long way away from where I live. So I'm not able to get to all my things.
If you'll excuse me just a minute, I'll get the skirt that I made. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring it in before, but I'll be right back.
Okay, awesome. We'd love to see it, Patty. So Estelle, you say you've got lots of sewing experience. What do you enjoy sewing the most?
I really enjoy remaking things, and I just enjoy sewing. I like to make gifts. I give away almost everything I sew. Right now, I took out some dresses that I really love that I can no longer wear. And I'm looking at, they're hanging on my door, and I'm thinking of how I'm going to repurpose them. So that's my latest project.
Okay. Do you also enjoy that kind of treasure hunt feeling of going, oh, this is something? Do you ever like look at your things in your cupboard and wish they'd get worn out so that you can start remaking them into something else?
Why wait?
Sure. No, I have so many projects that are unfinished. I don't have to do that. I can work on all the things that I've started and haven't finished.
Okay. Okay.
I'm really good at that, starting things.
Where do you keep your unfinished projects?
Well, when my daughter moved out, I converted her room to a sewing room. So I have
Okay.
lots of room.
Okay. Are we going to look at your skirt, Patty?
So this was the bottom half of overalls.
Okay.
And
Oh,
here's
that's gorgeous.
Oh, I like it.
I love it.
Very clever.
And the way because it didn't have a waistband, the way I solved that is, and the way I filled in the leg area is, this is linen that I had made a dress out of. And I just figured it would go well with this. So here's the pocket, and I just, made a waistband and fastenings on each side. And then these pieces, these appliques, I found them at a tag sale. And so there's a combination of using fusible webbing to put them on, and then stitching all around the edge just to make it secure. So, I knew that they would not peel off.
Those are fabulous. That's lovely.
Thank you.
Well done. I actually tried to adapt a pair of trousers into a skirt some time back. And I don't know a lot about pattern making. And the reason I used the particular pair of trousers was because they had like a bubble in the front on the crotch. It didn't matter who put them on, they had this weird, unsavory bubble that looked odd on everybody. We tried them on the whole family and they looked weird on everyone. So I thought if I cut them open into a skirt like that and I put a center panel in like that, it would solve it. And then when I tried the skirt on after I'd stitched all this extra stuff in, it still did that. And I was very, very frustrated. It was one of my first upcycle projects, and I just abandoned it because I was so sad that it still looked so weird on. So do you ladies have a solution for that?
Cut it out.
Cut the bubble out.
Cut that part out and replace it with, something wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It seems like the garment itself in the beginning was poorly sewn,
Yes.
whoever made it, and
Yeah.
and it just created a problem. So yeah, I'd agree, just cut it out. And
I don't know why I didn't think of that. I kind of shifted stuff around, but I didn't think of just cutting the whole center panel out. I wanted to retain the zip. I think that's why. Maybe when my stuff comes out of storage, I'll think of revisiting it.
So take the part you cut out and make another wonderful thing out of it that doesn't bother you, that maybe not something to wear, maybe something for the wall or a placemat or something like that.
Yes. I take things quite personally when they don't work. And then I have to abandon it for a while and just not look at it because I'm too cross.
Yeah, I do the same thing, and I'm with Estelle. I have many unfinished things, and unless I have a deadline or a really big urge to get them done, they just linger. And sometimes they get passed on to other people that I know might work on them. So we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, I wish I had deadlines. That would get me to finish stuff. I have no deadlines.
Well, I made myself one time, and it came and went. So sometimes it doesn't, even if you think you want to work on it, the desire or the passion has to be behind it.
Right.
Yeah. I spent the first 20 years of my career with textiles working to deadlines. So for me these days, it's a gift from me to be able to just sit and work in my own time and take as long as I want to with the thing and abandon it for a while and pick it up again later if I want to. So if you talk to me about a deadline, I don't even want to begin. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Well, in the quilting world, we say, you made this for Christmas? Which Christmas? there's always another one on the calendar,
I love that.
That's wonderful. All right. Do you ladies have any questions that you would like to ask the group that maybe they can answer in the comments about working with denim?
Well, I made some denim quilts, and I don't like sewing denim to denim, and then if I was making squares and then trying to meet the corners, which is more layers. So when I made a denim quilt for my brother-in-law a long time ago, I took the pant leg and I cut squares all the way up the leg, and the squares increased in size as the higher up the leg you get. And then I made each row with the certain size one, so that all the rows were the same, but I bordered each piece of denim with regular fabric, like regular cotton, or it could have been linen or whatever, so that my blocks wouldn't be a problem getting sewn together. And I was really happy with that. And also I included one pocket that didn't get quilted through, so you could put stuff in it. So, you know, that was my solution for that.
It sounds like a great solution. That's a lovely solution. Do you have any secrets, Estelle, that you could maybe share? Any tips for working with denim?
I can't think of anything right now. Ask me a question, I'll try and answer it. I'll reiterate, it's early in the morning here.
Thank you so much for getting up early to be with us. I appreciate this so much.
I'm on my first cup of coffee, so my brain is not functioning yet.
Yes, Peter always says he needs 3 to be human. And Patty, do you have any secrets or tips for working with denim that you can maybe share with the community?
I not as Estelle and Ruth do, because you both quilted, and I mean that really I think teaches you a lot about joining fabrics, but what you said was very helpful. I just think denim is a really great base medium. I see so many people who do great, really nice work on, say, a denim jacket, just using a plain denim jacket as a base and adding appliques, embroidery, beading, you know, like the skirt here, that was just a great jumping off spot to add, you know, whatever decorative elements you want to add. I've seen, there's one lady on, I saw on the Facebook page, you know, who makes like beautiful bags and outfits out of denim, and also like dangling like fringe denim earrings. So denim is just a great medium for any upcycling project. I think whether you're taking it apart or just using the garment, it's, you know, like a jacket, an already made jacket, and just using that as a basis for your creativity, like a canvas.
Have you seen the guy that paints with denim?
Ian Berry.
Yes, I have.
He glues this stuff on, and he has, his supply is amazing. It's like a blue room, you know, you kind of surreal, but he just glues the pieces on, and they become relief. They become 3-dimensional, but they're gorgeous.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing.
Yeah. So his name is Ian Berry, if you want to go and look for him. IANBERRY. And I think in year 2 or 3 of our group, year 2, he was a member of our community. And then, yeah, I invited him in, and he joined us for a short while. And then he left again because he said he was becoming too overwhelmed by all the stuff that was happening on the social networks and things. And I think also he has positioned himself as a serious fine artist. And I think he feels that what we're doing is very kind of crafty. And perhaps it was also something to do with the fact that we're a mostly female group. I can't assume what his motivations were, but he did say to me that he felt that the group wasn't really the right place for him, and he did leave again. But I did try very hard to get him to stay in our community, but he was with us only for about 6 months or so. All right, I see we are nearing the end when Zoom is going to start to give me messages to say that our meeting time is over. So I think maybe just some closing comments from each of you. Patty, what would you like to say just in closing?
I think just that I found this very helpful, you know, and I'll use your tips.
Awesome.
If I get brave enough to try and piece denim, I think I will. I know a little bit more now than I did, and a little bit more about techniques to do that.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And Estelle, any parting tips? Any parting comments?
Well, it was lovely meeting you all. I'm just delighted to do that. And Patty, I have one suggestion for you. If you're a budding fabric, almost any fabric, use the backing. Use tear away or wash away stabilizer, and that will help help you move your fabric along. It will also give you a base to work on. And trust yourself. Practice, try. I mean, just go for it and just trust yourself.
Yeah, I like that idea of the backing. I think I had read that somewhere in the group where somebody mentioned that, and I thought, wow, what a wonderful idea. I never, you know, thought of that, you know, because it gives you something, you know, to, you know, you're not just putting things together. You can lay them out, you can see what you like, and then you can fix them there.
Right.
Worrying about them moving around.
Right. And yeah, I keep a supply of all kinds of backing. It sometimes even just cotton because I want to leave it there. So yeah, just trust yourself and play with it.
That's a great tip. Thank you, Estelle. Ruth?
I was going to suggest flannel as a backing too, because it's soft and you can also use it as a batting in things that you want to stay flat, like table mats or table runners. And I also want to thank you, Melanie, for doing this. And I don't know if there's a place where you can put it on. Maybe I just put it on my calendar next time I see it. But I tried looking back through the feed of the Facebook page to see when and where it was and what the subject was, and so that's why I'm kind of late today. Anyway,
okay,
thank you so much.
So I have a solution for that. I've just started an Upcycled Cloth Collective Facebook page because we're a group, but I've started a page where I'm housing all our video, and I've called it Meetups. So what I'll do is from now on, I'm going to try to remember to share our information, the calendar back there. And then you'll be able to just refer to the page, which won't have as much traffic. So you'll be able to go to the page and within 2 or 3 posts, find the information that you need for the Zoom for that week.
Good, thank you.
Will that help?
That's great. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. I really appreciate you ladies joining me for this. I'm really enjoying, I'm loving meeting you in person. And it's a great way to create content for the whole group that everybody can learn from. And just to do a reality check in closing, are you all okay with me sharing this video on the group?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Lovely. Have a great evening, ladies. I love you all very much. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for having this.
Yeah, thank you, Melanie.
Nice meeting everyone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.